Happy Sunday. Let's wait till YouTube goes live. I'm a couple minutes early. Okay, let's do this. 8:57. Alrighty. I do. It's been a rough week on my hair this week with this crazy weather. Happy Sunday, everyone. This is Bake a Leg and let's dig it. There we go. Hello, Suzanne. How are you? Shelly and Anthony. Hello. I was wondering where you were last week. Everything good? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I'm a couple minutes early. I just figured maybe it'll give it a little bit more time. Hopefully for people to get the notification. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up coming in or rewatching this after the facts. Greatly appreciate it. But happy Sunday, y'all. How is it going? How are you, Suzanne? Everything all right, Shelly and Anthony? I was like, I knew I was missing somebody last week because you're usually almost first in here every single week. And then I realized at the end of the live, like, oh, you weren't in here. Hopefully everything's good. So, 8:59 and counting. Could be better. It will be fine though. Everything all right? If you need to talk, email me. 4 people, it's saying. Okay, so if you can hear me and see me fine, let me know. And we will get this going. Hello, Growing on My Own. Welcome in and happy Sunday. So, I did a harvest video and I couldn't continue it. I literally had to go continue to harvest the next day and the ending of the video wasn't done. I have to light everything out and take the picture. Hello, Mr. Paul Honeyman. Happy Sunday. But I have a whole big zucchini patch that's going on. I haven't seen really anything in the back until I found this bad boy. Look at the size of this monster. I mean, I've grown some big ones before, but this one is huge and it's super duper heavy. I weighed it and it on Jean's scale, it was in the kitchen drawer and it came up 8 pounds. You see these marks? It was growing inside the trellis. I almost couldn't even get it out. Welcome in, Growing My Own. Nice to see you in here. Happy Sunday. How you feeling, Paul? I was a few minutes early, hoping that people would get notified this Sunday. So, how was everyone's weekend? So that's what you're seeing in the picture, is this monster. This is a pretty big one, but if you do the comparison, now you can see the difference. I fell out of it. You almost couldn't get it out. Oh, yep. It was interesting. But when I spotted it, I'm on the video like, oh my God. And then I had a really hard time getting it out because I guess, kept overlooking it and it was growing in between like the trellis going all the way around. So it was really hard to get out for sure. Nearly back to my normal self. Mel, thanks. You're welcome. I'm glad to have you here this Sunday, feeling better. So yeah. Let's see. Hello, Jason Avers. Did you see my big fat zucchini that I didn't see all the way in the back? 8 pounds. Let me He says it was hot out. Yep, we did a garden tour of the front yard, garden only. I was soaked before we got back indoors, and we only got three-fourths of the way around it. I believe it. I believe it. I actually think I have a little touch of something today, like upset stomach. Um, I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling all that great. And now I'm starting to look back like I was soaked, sweaty, and I don't even get like that. And then coming in to try to cool off real quick or being right in front of the oscillating fan. So probably not a good idea that I did that, but it was so hot. I still have to lay everything out and do the ending of my harvest video. So I hear you there. Hello and happy Sunday, Jason Avers. Evil zucchini. It's a big one. Yes, there's checking growing on my own channel link. Go over, check them out. You know how it goes. And here you come in. Then we post a link to your channel. Hello, Mr. Brother Morgan. Good to see you again. I was over on Mr. Mad Shad's live for a while, actually. Just letting it play, chiming in and listening. It was a good live, I think. And then I looked at the time and I'm like, yep, I gotta go. So everyone say hello to my brother from a different mother, Mr. Joe Morgan. Let's see, I've been eating 1/4 of a watermelon a day to stay hydrated and because melons are yummy. They are very yummy. Obviously, I'm not growing any this year. But I bought a big one from Sam's and I felt so bad for my chickens. I gave them the whole thing. They had it demolished in a day and it was huge. Huge watermelon. Absolutely go over and check out Jason Avers at Green Country Agroforestry. I always have to make sure I say that correctly. He's like my little walking encyclopedia. Don't mind if you heard the dog. So yeah, I didn't have any. Actually, I stuck like the spoon in and just took a little watermelon, but that was it. I literally cut it, gave the whole things to the chickens. It was god awful here. I mean, the heat wave, just awful. But I know it's not just here. I know a lot of different states had the same thing. Today was the first time where you could breathe, but it's already too late. You know, when you deal with the heat like that, the humidity sucks the life out of you, you know? So, Tiger! Everyone say hello to Tiger. Mad Shad was calling you Tigger. So which one is it? Is it Tiger or Tigger? Everyone, my friend, Tiger454, go over check her out. She also was in Mad Shad's live tonight, and we may do a macaroni and cheese collaboration, like a cook-off. What do you think? That would be fun. Yes, check out Mr. Joe Morgan. I've been harvesting a lot of zucchini too. I know they're coming in like crazy now, and I was kind of down for like a week, so I had some I had to get to. I did finally do something with those yesterday. I used a grater on my KitchenAid, which there's a video for it, and just shredded all that and just spoke about, you know, if you just want to get it put up, grated, at least you can have a zucchini bread a month, or depending on your math, you can have 2 zucchini breads a month. So I did deal with that and I did explain like I needed to get to them first. But then they just keep coming in. And then I found this big bad boy. Unreal. Unreal. And then hold on because I can barely lift it. And this isn't even all of it. But since you're in here for live, it gives you a sneak peek. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so lots to deal with. I started putting tomatoes in the freezer in a brown bag because they were just coming in sporadically. But I think what I'm going to end up doing is probably a good percentage of them are going to go in the bag in the freezer. And then when I have enough, I'll make like a sauce or something. But yeah, zucchini's coming out the ears. I hear you there, growing my own. You growing any particular ones? Sorry, I had to listen to Tom McDonald's new song again. I didn't listen to that one yet, but I will. Um, the first way I said it was right, Tiger. He was calling you Tigger. Yes, we're definitely doing the mac and cheese. You could do a fan. I mean, I have a mac and cheese that's on my channel, but I have multiple different macaroni and cheeses, so I think I'm gonna pull out the big guns. I used to make a macaroni and cheese for me and the boys to where you didn't need to eat or make anything else to go with it. It literally was dinner. So I'm thinking about maybe doing that mac and cheese. Um, Sort of like just a one pan dinner, you know? But yeah, absolutely, we should do it for sure, for sure. Let's see. Tigger, but it's definitely Tiger. Okay. I just had to ask because the way that he said it in his voice, Mad Chad, in case you don't know who I'm talking about, big shout out. It was calling Tiger Tigger. Tigger is the bouncing Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. I used to love Winnie the Pooh. So yeah, like I was saying, today was the first day where you could breathe. I guess it's a break in the heat wave, but I could have cared less. I had no desire to even be out the door. It was so hot, and I had lots to get done. So I think maybe one afternoon in the heat wave I might have stayed in, but I was out in it, and I'm not even supposed to be in it. So it was too god awful hot for me. Let's see. Not Pooh. It's Winnie the Pooh. Laugh out loud. Not Pooh. Poo. Suzanne says. That's funny, Paul. Yeah, I'm so happy I get to catch your live this week. Yes. I'm excited too. Glad to see you in here. Glad to bump into you again on Mad Chad. I have to binge watch a bunch of your videos. I was watching Kathleen over at My Alabama Farm Life, I think it is. Alabama Farm Life. Kathleen, if one of the moderators can post her. I was checking out her new chicken coop because she lost a lot of her chickens to, like, I think boxes or whatever. And I think I've known Kathleen since the beginning, almost the beginning of YouTube days. So she's been commenting. And so I went over, I watched her nice little trip drive through Florida, different sections of Florida. It was beautiful. And yeah, so I caught up on some of hers. I did receive a text message. I just got it not that long ago from Pam saying that she's feeling better and she will call me tomorrow. So I was telling you, Pam might have had heat exhaustion or heat stroke, wasn't sure which one, but she did get in touch with me. I did reach out to Laura to check on Laura as well. She just said she's been crazy, crazy busy, and the dog is back to going outside and doing better. Maybe just not like 1,000%. So kudos to Laura and her dog. If you don't know, 4th of July, her dog was hit by a car. So we usually talk a lot. But you know, it's crazy busy in the summer. People are in their gardens and, you know, it's just kids and all that fun jazz. And yeah, so we'll have to catch up. Girl, we had a massive storm last night and it cooled it down so much today. Yeah, I agree. Was it last night? No, we had a rain. We got rain when the sun was out yesterday. It poured for about an hour and the sun still stayed out. It was the night before. Remember my beautiful autumn sunflower across from the chickens? Kind of in between some bulbs that I planted for Jean. She was going up to go to bed and I was like, oh, should I take down the solar lights? Because the wind picked up ungodly here. So I did the mad dash run so nothing would get broken. But my sunflower, I was just talking about that sunflower to her too, and within a matter of seconds, it was snapped in half, and it wasn't like a flimsy stem either. It was a pretty big, thick one. So I was like, you gotta be kidding me. She was like, oh, no, you were just talking about that. Threw it into the chicken run because they were in bed. And then she reminded me to pluck some seeds off of it. So the seeds aren't completely developed yet, but That's all right. So really disappointed that that's the first thing that snapped was that sunflower because that wind came in real quick. It was a lot of lightning, winds, and torrential rain. So that was not last night, it was the night before. Um, and then it rained yesterday day for about an hour straight, poured while the sun was still out, and you could feel a slight difference. I didn't feel the major difference till this morning. Actually, last night when I went to go sit out there by myself and think for a few minutes, I was like, oh my gosh, you could breathe again. It just felt wonderful. And today it's only in the 80s and there's no humidity. That's the big thing here is the humidity. So I'm telling you, that humidity can actually kill you. It was so stinking hot. I think the one day it said 91, feels like 101. It was just horrible. Horrible. But yes, it's definitely cooler today. Hi, Mel. It's Tiger Paul, everyone. Mr. Joe Morgan, you're back. Yay. Maybe I do my videos for me more than anyone else. Laugh out loud. Hey, it's all good, darling. It's all good. Listening and laying down, rough day. Everything all right, Joe? Uh-oh, Suzanne's saying she's having technical difficulties here with a link. Right, I lost a massive sunflower like 2 weeks ago and saying it wasn't even opened up yet. I've lost a lot of sunflowers between, there are bigger dogs here, fewer from the dogs, and I would say the majority of them that I lost was from the squirrels. They were just snapping them. That was the biggest one. Well, at least to where they could see it if they were on the deck or like the chickens. And that was, the one that got taken out. But my thinner ones that are in the garden didn't even blow over with those winds because here it said between 55 and 75 mile an hour winds the other night. And I'm talking as soon as it quick came on, that sunflower is down in 2 seconds. Mr. Paul Honeyman's here to save the night. Took 3 tries to post that link. Had to type it on the phone. We'll try rebooting the Chromebook. Okay, Suzanne. Let's see. Growing my own. Does I have some sunflower? Hope they live long enough to bloom. Yeah, they should, but well, unless something's going to eat it, But I had sunflowers out because I was so disappointed. The one right in the middle under the autumn one is the one, it looked like this and that. And it had multiple other heads that were going to open. And I was like, oh, let me just go out and put some more in. And then I looked and it said 75 days. So I really don't know if it'll actually make it. So I pulled out, as you can see, quite a few because it was like this mad dash panic. Like, really? So if something comes up there, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Do have some sunflowers to look at in the garden. But you'd have to be a little bit closer to the garden, I think, to actually be able to see them. And I think a bird moved my seed, and that's why it ended up in between her 2 plants. And even with the 2 plants for stability, it still took it out. Thank you, Suzanne. There is my Alabama farm life. Her name is Kathleen. Go over and tell her that Mel sent you. Lovely, lovely woman. Are you planting your fall garden, Mel? I don't know. This is the other thing from sitting in front of the air. Like, it's not exactly a blister. I don't know, you ever get that? It feels like a slight little blister starting, and it makes your one nostril just itch. This is what I did start. So I'll give you a lowdown very quickly. There was I'm doing a lot of like experiments on the green stalks and what works, what doesn't. I got a lot of beans off those bean plants. I ripped them out the other day. And I had some bean plants. So I had like 6, I think it was, or 7. Planted them in and then went in with more seed. I did get some zucchini off of 2 of the plants. but two of them on the other one weren't really doing anything other than getting squash bugs. And the one was like really little and it was in there for a long time. And I just so happened to look under the leaf. Of course, there was the eggs and some of them hatched. And I'm like, that's it. I've had it. Pulled it out, threw it into the chickens. So I did do some finagling with the green stalks, but I forgot to post my July update. I was so busy with the heat. I didn't post on Friday or Saturday, I don't think. The last thing I posted was that Chick-fil-A drink, which is so good. The reason why I'm saying within the video is don't like make more than whoever's there. Um, because you can't put it in a picture and see it. You know what I mean? It's cream and lemon. It's like a milkshake slash, it's like a vanilla milkshake slash lemonade, but it's really, really good. That's the last video I posted. So I have to get July's, and it's already edited and everything. It's going to say the beginning of July's because that was a mistake. I forgot to write, like, I don't know. I just goofed. So that's that. As far as the green stalks are concerned, you'll see some changes. But I did do like one tray. I think I probably did maybe 3 seeds per cell, like a 6 cell. And it all popped up because it was so stinking hot. It's purple, so I think I might have done some. I'm not even 1,000% sure. I'm hoping I wrote on the piece of tape I put on there. I either planted purple cauliflower, or maybe I planted some more purple cabbage. I mean, because Debbie and I were talking, and she really liked my fermented, but I'm not really sure what's going on because I was told October, but I don't really want to get into that right now. So that's where I'm kind of stumped because it's more enjoyable to have a fall garden, less heat, less bug pressure. You know, you can actually just enjoy yourself, but I don't know if that's really worth doing. Let me think. If I was, I'd be August and September. That's 60 days. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I can ask her what she wants me to do, but I do have more beans that I planted in the garden, like another concession. I have to harvest all the cabbage, and then I want to ferment it all. To really be honest with you, the purple cabbage isn't exactly ready yet. Well, some of the onions are. Now the tomatoes are coming in. The bean plants, I didn't get to them to check to see if there's more beans on there in the garden because the mosquitoes are just god awful. God awful. I went out there in 100-degree weather in yoga pants and a sweatshirt and socks and a pair of slides just to try not to get bit. They bit me on my chin, on the side of my face, like on my ear. Whatever was exposed is where they bit me. So that's the beginning of my garden harvest. I tried to do it that night when it was slightly cooler, not by much. And then I went out the next day to try to do more of the harvest, and I just have to wrap up the ending. I would like to do a fall garden. Like I said, it's more enjoyable, but we'll have to see what's going on. So yeah, I'm not sure if I started some of these or if I did purple cauliflower. I don't know why I would have did purple cauliflower. I don't think she likes cauliflower. I don't think I did. I'm not sure. I won't know until it comes up some more. But I do want to, I'm not going to do a bunch of canning. I might do like a pepper relish. I have to look it up though. I've never done it before. I was thinking maybe a pepper relish. Some of the tomatoes have been going into the freezer for maybe like a batch of sauce. I have diced some. I think I'm going to go that route and dice up some more and use my food saver wet dry food vac that I got from Laura. I don't know. I'm just trying to do fresh eating, to be honest with you. But, you know, what else do I want to do? If I can get the pineapple juice, I might want to try that zucchini. Did you see that on the 1870s? It's like a mock zucchini, but it's pineapple. They say it literally turns your zucchini into tasting like pineapple, and then you can use it throughout the winter for anything dessertsy. I thought maybe that might not be so bad to at least try it on maybe a couple jars, but I don't think I'm going to do a bunch of preserving. So, let's see. Let's see. Let's go to something different. Y'all better be hitting the thumbs up. Rent ain't free here. Says Tiger. That's funny. Thank you, Tiger. Hello, Ed's Crazy Adventures. How are you? Happy Sunday. Welcome in. How's everything going? There's this link. Go check them out if you want. Eka, hello. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Happy Sunday. Yes, my tomatoes are finally turning red. Yeah, I feel like the better boys that are usually pretty big aren't really coming in really big. I think it was the heat. I think it stunted them. And, if I'm not mistaken, I don't really know. And I don't think that some people are aware of like Roma tomatoes. This isn't Roma's. Um, this is Roma. But Roma tomato plants, like if you want a bunch of them, you got to plant a bunch of plants because they are determinate, not an indeterminate. So you'll get a bunch of tomatoes on there, and then the plant's just going to die off. So I'm trying to see if I could keep it alive as an experiment. I'm like in an experimenting mode this season, but that's not usually how it works with Roma tomatoes. You just get a bunch, then they die off. So if you're a person that likes a bunch of Roma tomatoes, you should probably do more than maybe 2 or 3 plants. Last year and the year before, I did Mr. Stripey's Roma tomato from M.I. Gardner, and that was so prolific. It went the entire summer because it was indeterminate. A great Roma tomato, in case you're interested. It just won't stop raining here. It's rained every day this month. Wow, really? That's crazy. Now I know June we had a bunch of rain because me and Laura were talking about that. But then it was like all of July. It's just been got awful hot, like unbearable. Can't breathe, kind of hot. Sorry to hear that, Eka. Ham and tomatoes with a sprinkling of peppers as a sandwich is good. Oh yes, most definitely, Paul. Hello, CR. Happy Sunday. You like my 8 pounder? Look at the size of that bad boy. You know what's weird? Here down is like it's really bottom heavy. Is that not crazy? I guess I can't do that phone thing. It's like the size of a baby. But welcome in, CR. My tomatoes for sauce, getting ready to put more plants out soon. What type of plants, Tiger? It's a going work 7 days a week. Oh, are you, Ed? I was wondering why I haven't heard from you. You saw the tomato video. Yeah, well, I was just saying right before you came in here that I started a harvest at night, completely closed, sweating to death, and then picked it up the next day. Still wasn't done. I'm still not done. I just have to do the ending. Like, do you ever see Becky Acre Homestead? You're sitting in your whole harvest, and I'm not even really into that anymore. If I can get it sprawled out on the table, I'll take a picture of it all. That's what I did on the last one. I don't know. I don't think that I think to do that anymore. So, let's see. I think I will try that pineapple zucchini recipe too. Yeah, I was thinking about trying it. In case you just want to know who I'm talking about, it's the channel The 1870s Homestead. Rachel, her name is. She did like a mock pineapple and it was done with zucchini. And I think I said last year I wanted to try that. So I don't know. I have some other zucchinis because this one is going to be for seed saving and probably, I don't know, maybe baking. I don't know. It's a big one. So I will definitely save the seeds out of this. And any seeds, I'll scoop them out. You don't want seeds from like a real big one. But even like one like this, which is a really good decent size, you might get 5 or 6 pints out of one this size. This is the gray summer zucchini in case you're interested. And this one is just the green zucchini. Everybody thinks it's fantastic to grow these super large ones. This was not done intentionally. This was buried in the far back. I just don't really like them that big because they're so seedy and they don't really have much flavor. So this is probably going to go towards baking and, that type of jazz. And there's still more out there in the kitchen to use up. So yeah, I'm going to have to look up the recipe. I don't know if Suzanne's not having technical difficulties any longer. Pretty sure it's called pineapple zucchini. I don't know if she could find that link, my friends. I'm not sure. But I definitely want to try that as well, growing my own. I'm still waiting for my tomatoes. They're coming. Also, we had 4 days of rain all month, heat wave the rest of it for UK. Yeah, like a lot of the country had major heat wave. Tomatoes, of course. Let me go back to the green stalks really quickly. I think tomorrow, I'm just going to say this now, I'm just don't want to keep treating it for blossom end rot. I told you I would keep it real with you, but everything I'm trying and what I'm doing with these green stalks, can it produce food? Can one person or 2 people eat from a green stalk? All that is a yes. Do I think it's meant for like accidentally, like me putting in like a rainbow tomato? This is the rainbows, and this is Kellogg's breakfast. It's definitely not meant for that. But if you want to do cherry tomatoes, it would be ideal inside of a green stalk, or like the large cherry tomatoes would be excellent. I do have 1 cherry tomato plant left. I think I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to take the tomato plants, the real big ones. I'm going to just take them out. That's going to be interesting because one, I have to cut the stem. And I've gotten probably 2 big ones. Well, technically 3, but it was split from the rain. And then the other 2 were okay. But I just want to get them out. I'd rather put something else in that could be prolific and not waste any more time. If it's not going to really do anything, why keep it in there, Takes 2 hands to handle that. Epic. Yes. So I did do this yesterday when I was grating up some zucchini. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I should just do a video. It just deserves a video of its own. I don't know if anyone else agrees, but for an 8-pounder. So I did do that, and I showed you just what I was doing yesterday, and then thought I could get to it to post it, and I just didn't, because I was out there shredding up zucchini and using my food saver. Zucchini has water in it, so it goes in the little thing. So I did that. I had a week where I was like in a funk, and now I feel like the heat has sucked the life out of me. For real, for real. So today I just took it easy. I have a little bit of an upset stomach and just feeling slightly off kilter. And that's that. So, and I did drink a lot of water, which I don't really like water like that. Not flat, just plain water. But I was filling my Stanley up with water. I was taking water bottles and sticking them in the freezer. And that's because I have some cases when the water was infected up past here some time back. Apparently, it's a different water here. Well, anyway, so my niece was worried and she sent, I think, 2 or 3 cases from Maryland. So I thought, oh, I don't want to be carting around cases of water. Let me start trying to drink through some of those water bottles, and I started putting them in the freezer. I would walk outside with a solid frozen water bottle, and I am not even exaggerating, in 3 minutes, it was already thawing out to where you could drink it. It was just that hot. But definitely takes 2 hands, so I did decide that zucchini needed a video of its own, so be on the lookout. Nope, you definitely can't garden without water. And you ever notice how green? I don't know why it's doing that again. Do you ever notice things look so green and lush after the rain? And that's from the nitrogen and the oxygen within the rain. And, you know, it's not the same when you're using it from the hose, but you got to do what you got to do when you're gardening. But I think some people that aren't really big gardeners don't understand, like, you could start your plants now and have a joyous uh, fall gardening experience. You know what I mean? To where you're not getting chewed alive by things. It's not god awful hot and humid. And you could get, some great things like carrots are great, and turnips and beets and even beans and more zucchini. I did start more zucchini. Is that not insane? It might be the year of zucchini here. You know me, normally I'm like, I don't know, the year of everything. But I feel like I really put a lot of effort into learning more about zucchinis and planting certain things near it and just pruning, which is not something I really like to do, but as long as you have 8 to 10 leaves on there, which maybe I'll do a video on this. My actual zucchini plant has now branched off and started a whole new plant. And that's what happens when you really stay on top of it. I know it's hard to do with squash bugs and stuff. I feel like I saw one squash bug in the garden. I had more trouble with squash bugs and squash eggs, the green stalks, and that container in the back got the worm in it. What, twice, I think? And I saw one squash bug in the garden and I don't know where it went. So, just in case, I started some more zucchini plants because I know that they love zucchini here. So, let's see, we had 2 weeks of rain every day, then blasted with massive heat for 3 days and a total massive storm last night. Yeah, I think a lot of people were affected by the heat wave going across the country. Yeah, he definitely doesn't garden. Okay, Tiger. Mel, who you on about with the pineapple zucchini? The 1870s homestead? That's the channel. Was that homesteading with the Zimmermans? No, it's the 1870s homestead. Um, yeah, that's the name of the channel. Yes. Tiger, thank you, Tiger, for writing that. Some of my tomatoes are starting to blush. Can't wait to start canning. See, I still have some sauce left over from last year. So, might have a big oopsie on my hand, but this is what I realized and learned, and it caused some anxiety, but not too much I could do about it now. A lot of the jars were put out in the garage, and it's a temperature thing for the jars. So, I did ask Debbie for some help to help me go through the jars. I watched Sutton's Days, who talked about like the adequate temperature for jars, especially if it's for long term eating, not to like, I don't know anyone that's going to jar it up and then eat it right there on the spot. It's either for convenience or long term. But she did say, she was talking about temperature, and she did say, um, you just might not get a long shelf life. So that's okay. If that's the worst case scenario, that's okay. Because me and the kids could eat it, you know what I mean? And go through it all and hopefully, have some type of game plan. I don't know, but it was in the garage, and I don't know why I thought it stayed cooler, but I don't think that it is. So I have to inspect the jars. So there's quite a bit of sauce out there, but I haven't really been cooking lately. Um, First of all, it's got awful hot. That's just probably my number one thing. It's been hot. Like for me not to even bake, I don't know how many times I said, oh, I want to make zucchini muffins. That's my main reason. It was like I didn't even want to turn on the oven. It was just been so hot. I haven't really been cooking and I haven't really been baking. Tonight I made some spaghetti and some sauce and threw some good stuff in there, and that's what I ate for dinner. Um, I had great luck with peppers and the green stalk. Won't ever do eggplants in them again. My eggplant's doing okay. I do agree. I think like because I'm already familiar with beans. Beans do really, really good. My one in the back is slower, and that's because I initially went back there so that the lettuce didn't bolt. So the ones on the bottom are starting to get bigger. They haven't started the beans yet, and then I went in with other seeds. So the green stalk is definitely great for green beans for sure, for sure. I think like any type of cherry tomatoes and peppers, absolutely, and kale and that type of jazz. That all does really, really good in there. Um, Very surprised to find out that it actually you can get zucchini off of there. So long as you stay on top of it, you can get zucchini off of it. I do have an eggplant that's growing now, and I got one small Black Beauty eggplant off of it, but that was it. One that's already been eaten and one that's on there. And I don't know how it's going to do because it's starting to look like a different type of eggplant. My three top favorite eggplants are Rosa Bianca, is how I call it, Black Beauty, and the Oswald. If you haven't seen an Oswald eggplant, it's round and they can get really big. You can go back to my garden at Jimmy's. I had a wheelbarrow full of them, you know. So, yeah, I would have to agree. I think peppers do really good. The borage plant has helped out tremendously with attracting bees and pollinators to it. But I'm starting to think the borage might be starting to look like it's a little spent, so I'm not sure if I should just take my chances and yank it out and put more borage in there because you definitely need the top to have some type of pollinator on there, and then that's what gets everything pollinated. So it's a good learning lesson. I will say that for sure. But yeah, I don't know if I would do like a whole tower eggplant. Probably not. I've never even heard of homesteading with the Zimmermans, but thank you, Suzanne. It's the 1870s homestead. I'm waiting for my cucamelons to grow so I could pickle them. Yeah, I grew them. They're, I think, great for like something to eat while you're out there, you know? You need a lot of those, if I'm not mistaken. The cucamelons, they're round, like little cucumbers that look like little watermelons. You need a lot of them to jar them, you know? But I bet you that would taste amazing, Eka. Too much rain around here lately, but it beats drought. That is true. You can grow microgreens from extra seeds. Yeah, most definitely. And I think I still have um, some microgreen seeds from Boone. I'm just not really sure where they're at. Um, and I also am not using the AeroGarden currently. The last plant that was in it was jalapenos, and it was loaded, flowers and everything. But mm-mm. So I plucked them all off, cleaned the whole thing out, and I don't know if I'm gonna go in with anything else right now. I have a lot of basil. I've been procrastinating, bringing up the dehydrator. I don't know why, I just really was, but I gotta stop. I gotta do a major harvest on a lot of herbs and basil, which will be good for this winter because I haven't located my herbs yet. I'm pretty sure it came here like my spices, and all my jars were filled to the tippy top from everything that I grew. So I really need to focus on doing another harvest on bee balm. If you don't know, bee balm is used medicinally if you start feeling like you're getting sick, like an upset stomach type of thing. You can make tea out of that. I didn't even think to do that today. And the lemon balm, oh, the bee balm is blooming flowers for the first time. I dug it up, put it in a pot. It's here. Um, Flowers are beautiful, but that's bee balm. And then the lemon balm is calming. I've already harvested it once, but I have to harvest lemon balm, bee balm. I have to harvest all the mint. If I don't harvest the mint, it looks like it's going to go to seed. At least if I chop it now, it can maybe come back to like my big one and get that dry. So I definitely have to get my butt in gear and get the dehydrator and start getting some of these things on there, instead of, yeah, I guess it's procrastinating it. I don't really know why. I don't have an explanation for that. I guess maybe because I just stayed busy and was doing other things, and I do get wrapped up in a lot of editing. Like, I don't have a set schedule when the video is done. And it's like my last video with the harvesting, it broke it, I think, in like 5 pieces. And that makes it so hard for me. Um, bigger channels, they tell you like editing, unless you're paying someone to edit, it sucks up a lot of time. I did work on my laptop the other day, and I think it was like maybe, not even exaggerating, 40,000, 50,000 emojis. So the free editing software I'm using on my phone, when I plugged it into that new laptop, it must have attached all these like screenshots and emojis, and there was like 50,000 of them. And I just started working on it and trying to be diligent and delete off a bunch. And maybe that night I deleted off a bunch more. The next day I deleted off more. And then it's just the editing. The editing is just a lot. I want to get all the videos off my phone. I was on a family plan with Chris. I have been for like a long time. He wanted us to do like a family plan. And I spent like hours on the phone with T-Mobile the other night to keep my phone number and transferred this into my own name, which I was with T-Mobile before. But so that was like a sudden thing. It was like before September the 1st. Like, whatever, I'm not going to procrastinate. I got that done. So yeah, I think my objective here is, or objective isn't the right word. The thing that's so time consuming for me right now is everything's a video. So I'm adding more videos on without unloading the other ones. And the editing. The editing is taking a while, and I am not going to get an editing software for my laptop until I get an external hard drive. That has to be the top priority, so that anything that comes off the phone, Bing can go right over to there. I don't want to let the phone fill the laptop up again. So it's like that kind of behind the scenes type of YouTube stuff that's really time consuming. And I was so exhausted from the heat the other day. I saw a bunch of ripe tomatoes and didn't even care enough to want to go out there and pick them. I think a couple days I walked by them, and then finally that one night I went out there, bundled up for the mosquitoes, and harvest them. And that's going to be this harvest you're going to see. It took me 2.5 days just to record because it keeps shutting my phone down, the heat here. I think I do say in the video, if anyone can recommend something to keep your phone cool. I don't have an iPhone. iPhones are known for shutting off. I have Samsung Galaxy, and the heat shuts it off, then it interrupts my video, then I gotta wait for it to cool off, re-pick up where I think I left off, and then it's this vicious cycle. It's really not fun. Amaranth is a great trap crop for squash bugs and cucumber beetles. Absolutely, Tiger. I did do an update because I haven't really spoken about it very much. I did a blue Hubbard squash over on the side of Jean's bed. And my reasoning is for that was because, yeah, you might get lucky and get a couple blue Hubbard squashes out of the deal, but a blue Hubbard squash is a trap crop. And that's why I put that over there, so that if the squash bugs and all that jazz wanted to mess around, let them go mess around with that and not mess around with zucchini. So I do feel like, I don't know, I learned a lot more about zucchini. It doesn't matter if you garden for 35 years. I don't know. I feel like a lot of my videos are on zucchini, and I have more coming. But I just wanted to try a couple different techniques this year. One of them being, what is the plant? Oh my goodness, I'm going to have a brain fart. Nasturtium. Growing nasturtium in with your zucchinis. In a video, I said, I'm not really sure if it is helping or not helping. I'm going to have to say now, I think it's definitely doing something, because I'm just not getting like attacked. Normally I've knocked those plants out. But the nasturtium was a new thing. I think I was reading up on it, and it suggested planting nasturtium in when you plant your zucchini plant, like your start, plant it together, and then start weaving the nasturtium through the zucchini plant. I've done that on one, and the other plant got so big that the nasturtium didn't really get that big because it's blocking out the light from underneath of it. But I don't know, I'm starting to think that that was one thing I learned this year that absolutely works for squash bugs. Thank you, Suzanne. Randomly eats fish, green onions. Laugh out loud. There it is. The mock pineapple recipe zucchini chunks. Sorry, moderators, but thank you so much for finding that because I actually need it. But that's the one that I'm going to do with some of the normal zucchinis and try to get a couple jars. I heard you can eat it right out of the jar. Rachel, her name is, she says she puts it in like for muffins in the winter time, and I think pineapple upside down cake, and oh, she uses it on a ton of things, and she said you would never know it was zucchini. It tastes just like pineapple. So that's why we were talking about that. But thank you, thank you, thank you for finding the link to that. Greatly appreciate it because I'm going to try to make some. Maybe look for a solar outdoor oven mill. Yeah, I mean, I saw a channel. Let me think. This one might not come to me like the other one was. She does the pantry challenge every like January. Jessica, Three Rivers Homestead. Ooh, my brain's getting good. She literally has an outdoor solar like oven that looks like nothing fancy, and she said she uses it. It works really good. It doesn't look like it's something that's really expensive. But yeah, that's actually like a really good idea, even if it's not just to avoid the heat, you know. If your circumstances aren't that great, that could come in handy. But yeah, it was Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead. If you want to check her out, she has a solar oven outside in her garden. CR, that was a good one. And I remembered it. There's Eka's link. Sourdough, pineapple, zucchini bread. Thank you, Paul. That's a good one. Paul says also from the 1870s homestead list is the sourdough, pineapple, zucchini bread. And there's the link. Greatly appreciate it because, you know, my lives have been a little hit or miss this summer, but then again, people are busy, they're gardening, they're trying to get a bunch of stuff done, and you know, fall and winter changes where people are in. But I do really well on the watch back of my lives. Sometimes it could be like 120, sometimes it could be like 80, 85, which is more than actually in there. But I greatly do appreciate everyone that watches the live back. It means the world to me. It really helps out the channel greatly. That was a little surprising to me at first, and then it was really consistent where people are watching the live back. So these links will be very helpful for anyone else that watches it back and maybe wants to try these recipes. Great channel. Love Rachel. And I just really like the 1870s homestead. Little different this season because she's not gardening. It's the Sabbath where you let the land rest on the 7th year. So she's somewhat getting a break this year. And I'm sure she's put up enough food to be A-OK, just like Simple Living Alaska did. They knew they were moving before the viewers did, which is one of my favorite channels all time. And now I hear other bigger channels talking about them when I didn't before. I love Simple Living Alaska. But she had enough food put up in jars to be A-OK for next season, I guess, when they go to garden. So, you know, some people don't get it when it comes to canning sometimes, but I was wondering, why does she have all those jars? And she planted garlic and everything, and then she dropped the bomb like, we won't be gardening. So it is a little bit different. I mean, I'm still watching Simple Living Alaskan 1870s homestead. They're working on a barn. They're restoring it on their property. That's how it got its channel name. The 1870s is when the property, I guess, was established. So a little bit different because my two favorite gardeners aren't gardening this season. Oh, okay, Suzanne. There's also Suzanne. She put the Zimmerman's video is where she heard of the pineapple zucchini. So you can also check that one out. Suzanne posted the link for that as well. So these links are beneficial, believe me, because of all the watch time it gets after the live's over. So greatly appreciate it. My chilies are growing great, but them little bird's eye demon are very hot and they're still green. Yeeks, the bird's eye. Yeah, that sounds like a bit too hot. Chilies, yeah, I grew them. I could deal with that. I have a video. It's a short um, from my garden, and no, it was cayenne pepper. That's what it was. It was cayenne pepper, and I was saying like cayenne, like Kanye almost, and I corrected myself. It's on a short. Like all you need is one plant, and you can see the bucket was practically half full of the cayenne peppers. So I still have that short in my phone. I should probably just upload it. If you see just random like drops of like 3 shorts, that's me trying to get some things off of my phone. Hello, Mona. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Welcome into the chat. How are you? There's Mona's link. How are you doing, Mona? Editing gets easier with practice. Yeah, well, it's a lot of work. Um, if I could rough it on a video and I know it's not too bad and I get the opportunity to just stick it out there, I do because I need a break. You know what I mean? And it's a lot harder for me when my phone is shutting off in the heat and it's breaking the videos into all these multiple pieces and I have to put it all together. Pain in the butt. But it is what it is, and I know it comes with the territory. And there's no sense getting an expensive um, editing software for my laptop until I actually figure this laptop out. I have not really ever like messed with it. I haven't done a live on it because I realized it had all the whistles and bells, but the camera wasn't the greatest. Then I got a web camera and I haven't even tried that out on YouTube yet. And I've had it for a year now, I guess. So yeah, there's different things I need to figure out with this laptop before I go and do that investment. But $60 maybe max is what I'm willing to do for an external hard drive. I just don't know which one. I was talking to my son about that the other day because both the boys are electronic wizards. We all are. I'm just like, ugh, can't really afford it. So I don't care if it's $69.99. I don't feel like wasting it if it's not going to be compatible with the laptop. So my son initially told me to type in Samsung. Their external hard drives are usually pretty good. So when I get it, or like when I have it, I'll get an external hard drive. But I'm trying to start from the bottom, I guess you should say, when it comes to this laptop. So one step at a time. That's where I saw the pineapple zucchini recipe. Okay. How's your weather been, Mona? Paul. So funny. Glad that he's feeling better. Tiger says I planted the Emirates for the trap crop, but if I actually get grain, my chickens will love it. That is true. That would be really good. Or you would eat them. Like I said, it's the humidity. I have upper respiratory disease, and I was told back some time, when it's poor air quality or humidity, I'm not permitted to be in it. And I've done it, but then it can literally knock you down to where you just feel like you were run over by a truck, you know? But I was trying to do it uber careful this time because I knew this heat wave was dangerous. Going out for like a little bit and making myself go in. But it's the being sweaty and then going into the air or sitting in front of the fan like, oh, dying. I mean, that's not good because then you can end up getting sick that way. So I did take a swig of my fire cider that I have in the refrigerator here that I made last October. And I think it's that in the jar because, you know, you kind of ferment it because then it's good for you. It fights everything. I don't purchase cough medicine or anything over the counter. I completely have been using the fire cider and it keeps me good. My stomach was just flipping and flopping today, just not really feeling like 1,000%. I put a little bit in a cup. Well, I probably put this much in a cup. I took the first swig and I was like, woof. So it definitely did get a little bit stronger, a little bit hotter, and that's okay. Um, so I might end up fermenting another jar because I did 2 jars, and by the time you're done straining it all off, because there's a video on my channel for this fire cider, but has medicinal purposes. It's really, really good. Knock on wood. I haven't been sick. When I feel like something is slightly coming on, I'll take a swig of it. It was pretty potent today. But what I was thinking is the last time I did 2 jars, by the time you strain off all the yum yums out of it, you end up with 1 quart. So for this upcoming winter, even if there's still some left over on this one, that's okay. It doesn't go bad. It's best to have a backup. So keep in mind when you're harvesting jalapenos or your garlic. Let's see if I can remember everything off the top of my head. Jalapenos, onions, garlic, apple cider vinegar. I think I also put a chili pepper in mine, oregano, thyme, rosemary. That's what I can remember off the top of my head. And then you let it ferment with the apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. So nothing in it is bad for you whatsoever. Oh, it also has 1 orange squeezed in it and the rind, and then the same with a lemon. This time I did a whole one. The year before I didn't. So I think it's a lot better this time around, but once you get all the ingredients together, don't use a metal lid. Make sure you burp it every day and keep it in a dry, cool, dark spot. Give it like 2-3 months, strain it, and it's ready. There's your health tonic for the wintertime. Yeah, I'm surprised, Paul. I walked by mine. Hello, Mr. Joe Serrano. Yes, Paul's back. Hello, hello, happy Sunday. How are you, my dear friend? Well, good to see you. Garden State so and so. Hello, Robin. How are you? Happy Sunday. Never late over here. You know how that goes. So for people coming in, this is my 8-pounder zucchini that I never saw. And it was growing within the trellis back there in the back. And it's bottom heavy. So that is what's in the picture. This is one you could say got a little away from you, but you can see the actual size difference on those zucchinis, like huge. But welcome in, Robin. How are you? Everyone's saying hello. There's Robin's link. Let's see. Hanging in there. Just the heat, Mona. You know, the heat. Oh, god awful. I'm glad it's over. Now, I always rough it. Have no idea how to even start editing. That part I can help you out with, Tiger. Shoot me an email and I'll give you the name of the free editing software that I use on my phone. That was a total lifesaver because if not, then it would break my videos up or in half and I would have to post part 1, part 2. And I hated that when I first started. I used to do that and I felt terrible for my subscribers, you know, but yeah, send me an email. I'll give you the name of it because I can't think of it off the top of my head. Last time I felt the urge to just stick it out here. About what? Since it's a true story about what, Paul? Mm-mm-mm. Right, CR? What is he talking about? It's hot, I know. Just starting to cool off here, though, Mona. Oh, okay. 75, that's not bad, CR. Thank you, Paul. There's my fire cider tonic recipe. Hello, Miss Tina Ladybug. Happy Sunday. Thank you for popping in. Greatly appreciate it. Tina always pops in and pops out. Um, comes in and says hello to everyone. It's 93 at 9 o'clock. Yeah, it was like that. Say today's Sunday. Friday night and like most of the week, it didn't even go down. But I think it went down into the 70s last night, which was a blessing. Hello, LP. How are you listening while I have a chance? Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you had a blessed weekend. Caught up and at the bottom. So, yeah. So, let me finish the sentence and then we'll move on. So, don't forget if you're growing some hot peppers, you can use whatever hot peppers you want. But the normal recipes are usually like jalapeno. The year before last, I did it with jalapeno. Last year, I did it with a serrano pepper, jalapeno, and a chili pepper. And I'm still sipping off of it. If that gives you any inclination, if you're worried about, medical shortages, strange things. I just heard of a new shortage is going to be light bulbs. Like, what? So yeah, it's on the shortage list. But there's the link to my recipe. The only reason why I'm bringing that up too is because the peppers are starting to come in. So make sure you get your fire cider because it takes about 2-3 months. I think I did mine. I might have strained mine in 2 months and it was just as good and it's still good. But I'll make a fresh batch, to have it. I swear by it. I literally swear by it. It keeps you free from being sick. So make sure you keep a couple jalapenos off to the side or whatever hot pepper you grow. Not a ton of ingredients, but extremely healthy for you. Okay, so we got that out there. And then the moderators posted the mock pineapple. It's done by Zucchini from the 1870s homestead. So the links are in the chat. I'm going to make some and try it. I hear people brag about it. And I think the only other thing I'm going to do to preserve anything is maybe do some pepper relish. The green stalk, the beautiful green stalk. One's in the garage. I didn't put it up. The glacier blue green stalk. The cucumbers are looking fantastic in there. So stay tuned for that updated video. They still have plenty of time. I planted more cucumbers in the garden because I knew it was a disease. I went by my instincts and ripped it out because the next day it was even worse. I put in 6, 2 died. And then I had an extra 2. I put it in there and I'm noticing a couple of them are starting to get like those yellow spots again. So I'm not sure if it's that area. I'm not sure. Maybe humidity. We'll see. I'll keep you posted on the cucumbers. But the cucumbers work. My green stalk, it's where I got a good bit out of the garden before the disease started. But I think the green stalk, I think I have it in both the terracotta and the green one, the leaf, and the cucumbers. I mean, I keep getting cucumbers off of it. I wanted to do some quick pickles, but then I changed my mind. And then I made cucumber salad for last weekend. If I was going over my daughter's for her fiance's birthday, and no one picked up their phone. So I ended up not going. And I ate some throughout the week, and then the rest, I think I may have given it to the chickens. I'm not sure. Nothing goes to waste here. It goes to the chickens. I bought the double pack of Hawaiian rolls. Initially with the intention of doing like open-faced turkey sandwiches or whatever. I bought It says shaved. It says it's by Oscar Mayer. I got it at Sam's, and I cannot find an expiration date on this. But one of the pack of rolls went into the freezer, and the other one went to waste. So, well, started to get mold on it. So I took it out and gave it to the chickens the other day. Like 2 of them did. No, 3 did. They loved the Hawaiian rolls. I mean, I don't give them any meat whatsoever. Just, you know, whatever is going to end up going to waste. Nothing that's like spoiled, I don't give them. I was just talking about the chickens, trying to get a food grade bucket, and then I'll get the lime off of Amazon to start water glassing my eggs. Um, and what else? Oh, then they'll probably be molting this year, so ooh, they probably won't look like the healthiest chickens. We'll have to see. But I heard tuna fish, salmon, things like that help them to go through that because I don't know if they lose a lot of vitamins or they lose a lot of, um, and it's very painful. I did read that. Last but not least, about the chickens, one of my chickens has like a mark on the top of her foot. Looks like a cyst or boil or something. I don't know. It was there just suddenly. So I did some research on that. The only thing that keeps coming up is called bumblefoot. They give you directions because there's rarely any chicken veterinarians. They give you directions on how to do the procedure. So I did mention it to Jay because I wouldn't have a scalpel. And I'm not going to go buy a scalpel, but it has to be removed off of her foot. And it's going to take 2 people to actually do it. But it doesn't really seem that complicated. I'm not really scared about it. But yeah, I think she's got bumblefoot. When I read up on it, they usually say like if they're free range and like in the woods or whatever, they could get it. But they're not free ranging in the woods here. They have their area to free range. So she could have scraped it and then it would turn into like something that looks like a cyst or a boil. So gonna have to get to that before it gets out of hand. But yeah, so they basically lose their feathers to gain new feathers, but it goes like later, meaning like they're practically almost going into winter just looking sickly and all. So I'm already feeling bad about that and already trying to figure out. I know I came here with a bunch of cans of tuna because I was prepping and preparing, it's no secret. And if I got to give up every can of tuna and I only buy albacore tuna, it's all going to the chickens to help them. Hello, Franny, how are you? There are a few exceptions. Suzanne says, I hear like oven light bulbs, but hardly anyone uses them, so a ban seems stupid. I know, right? Just like, when did I see it? It was the beginning of the week. It said there's a shortage on light bulbs. I'm like, that is so stupid. I mean, extremely stupid. Incandescent light bulb sales ban starts August 1st in the USA. Thank you for that, Miss Suzanne. You could be helping me with editing. The free editing software that I got for my phone, Shannon from Kitchen Shenanigans is the one that told me about it. That girl saved my life with that free editing software. But I think it's attaching emojis or whatever. So when I ripped my phone into my laptop the very first time when I got the laptop, it attached all this stuff to it. So I think for what I use it for, not so bad, but I don't know of another free one for my phone. So I just use that one. Let's see. Paul says, well, that's so stupid. Yep. There are a few exceptions. She says, I hear the oven light bulbs, but hardly anyone uses them, so the ban seems stupid. Tuna fish in oil is better for the birds than the tuna fish in brine, Mel. I actually might have a couple that's in the oil, but I normally get albacore tuna in the water. So it would just be like as if it's your dogs or whatever. I just want to do what's best for the chickens. So if I have to get, however many cans of tuna in oil for the chickens, so be it. when I bought two, it's not sockeye. I think it was, no, maybe it is. I got two salmon fillets. I think it was sockeye salmon. I only ate the one, knew I wasn't going to get to the other one, and I put it in the freezer with already thinking in advance, like, that's going to the chickens to help them out when they start to molt. Poor little things. Chickens go through a lot just to give us eggs. Hey, I was working on an upcoming video and forgot it's Sunday live. Yes, Fran, how are you? Happy Sunday, darling. How's everything going? How are you holding up? Mel, I'll shoot you an email in the morning and we'll work out the mac and cheese. Yes, absolutely. So me and Tiger are going to do like a cook-off on mac and cheese. Right now, love y'all. Hit you up. Okay. Sounds good. Tiger, have a great night. Love you, girl. And we'll talk soon. Oh, I could do that, CR. You help me edit. Says I'll help you edit and you can help me garden. Absolutely. I can tell you anything you want to know when it comes to gardening. True facts. Unless that's meant for Tiger. Either or. But yeah, so glad to know that I think we're out of the heat wave. Super thrilled about that. I just don't have any energy. I don't know. I really don't. Like I said, I was in a funk for a week, and then the humidity here, I already told you, was god awful, and I just feel like, oh, I really felt that today, you know. I sent you the email you asked me to send. I responded. Did you get it? I left it. Oh, both of you. Thanks, CR. I left my cell phone number, Robin. Pretty sure I responded back to that, almost 99.9% positive. So, showed you all the big, enormous zucchini 8-pounder. Told you that beautiful sunflower got knocked down from the storm. And it wasn't even like it was flimsy. The stem was super thick, but, you know, storms are storms for a reason. Sorry, Mel, but the hat's not... Oh, the heat? Oh, man. I hope it is. No, that felt well. I'll go find it. Thank you. Yeah, I left it on there. And then I'll show you this for the ones that are coming in. This is another harvest. And that's not even all of it. It's all over the counter. So I have to deal with it. Even if I don't feel energetic to deal with it. Like yesterday, I was just like, Mel, at least like shred up the zucchini that's been sitting there. And that was even like work, you know? But I did it. I got that done, out of the way. And then what was left, well, I'm obviously going to leave some for fresh eating, but I don't think he's back for 2 more weeks. I don't know exactly. I don't have it like clocked, but I'm sure it would be getting grilled and stuff, you know, but I'm trying not to let it spoil. So I'm trying to put some up for zucchini breads. I am definitely going to make some muffins this week. I'm sick and tired of hearing myself say I want a zucchini muffin. Okay, no problem, CR. CR, send me an email and we'll touch base about that editing and anything gardening you want to know. I'm your gal for sure. Okay, so definitely what I think sent me back with making the zucchini muffins is because I can't find my muffin, you know. I used a professional one, so like, because I even bought blueberries to make blueberry muffins. I miss them and love them. Last time I made them, they flew out of here. But you know, when you go into like a bakery or a supermarket, like the professional, you know, you get that big muffin. Oh yes, that. And I looked for 2 hours and couldn't find them. But it just is what it is. I'll look one more time. I see if I can find them, and then get crack-a-lackin' and make some zucchini muffins. And I'm going to do the mock pineapple, the zucchini for sure. And I don't know what else. But whatever I do end up doing, if it's baking or cooking related, I know. Turn on the camera and I'll bring you along. I still have some canning videos on my phone that I have to get over onto YouTube. And as far as, I think some of like Roma tomatoes and some of these tomatoes, like I actually washed it and took the skin off and put it in my pasta. Delicious. Um, I like eating stuff fresh, so I've been doing like some fresh peppers and fresh tomatoes in my scrambled eggs. I have definitely been doing that. Is Eka leaving? Let's see. By the way, Mel's putting out at the bottom of the hour. Okay, I read that. Eka says, night, all work soon. Be safe, Eka. Have a great night at work. And thank you for coming in. Greatly appreciate it. Look at that. We're 13 and 13. What a number that is. 13 people and 13 thumbs up. Crazy. Granny says, sorry, hubby was getting ready to go to bed. Hang in there, Melody. It's not easy. Hubby is trying to keep himself in good spirits. And on the other hand, I am usually a mess. It's so understandable, Fran. So we've been kind of running with sort of the same people in the Sunday Night Lives. Like I said, people are gardening, they're canning, they're trying to preserve their harvest, they're busy, they're not in the live. But my live gets great watch. It gets watched back. I discussed this, what was it, last Sunday, to go over to Fran's channel and look for the prayers needed. Her husband's very, very sick, and lots of prayers for Fran too, to have strength during this difficult time. It's just hard, I know. It's a little bit different. It's her husband. So lots of prayers. And yeah, you could just only do the best you can do, right? Let's see. I got 13 watching and 14 thumbs. Oh, do you? I see 13 and 13. That's so weird. But since we were talking about health real quickly, because Fran, her husband is very sick. My daughter's father, I told you just a while back, he was knocked down, good looking guy, tall, dark, and handsome, and built, definitely not what I don't know, my husband was none of the above. He had a terrible roofing accident. He was paralyzed from the waist down, and he's re-sick again. So I dealt with Al and his initial injuries, and my daughter was 10 at the time, and that was a lot, It was a lot, and I was crushed. We weren't together at that time, but, we were really good friends. And then he was told by the doctors that he was going to be paralyzed from the waist down, and he called me up and asked me to kill him, and I said, absolutely not. God has you here for a reason, and your daughter needs you. And he really, really, really was doing great and getting around and going to the gym. And then 5 years ago, he was found unresponsive. My daughter is not going to care. This is my platform. She knows that. We're good with it. But after what we dealt with 5 years ago, maybe it was 6 years ago, of him having like just a really serious infection and bed sore and just all kinds of things. And then he lived at a rehabilitation center for like 3 years. And here we go again. Some more of my story. Here we go again. When was it? Yesterday, I think it was. Well, it wasn't yesterday the incident happened, but this week has just been tough in general, because my daughter called me, and her dad had a seizure in the doctor's office. Then he was taken to the hospital. Apparently he was having some seizures. He has a severe infection. I never say it correctly. Let's see if I can even think of it right now. I can't. He's fighting some infections. You can get seizures from a severe infection, but his equipment from his initial surgery, his 2 rods down the side of his spine on each side, his equipment is showing at the bottom of his tailbone. So my Amanda's dad is not doing well. We've always been really, really good friends. That's also been taking a toll on me this week. Whew, I can't believe I just got choked up. I'm so sorry. And, the multiple updates from Amanda, and yesterday was really hard because it kind of told her, he just doesn't look like he's going to make it. He is 65, if I'm not mistaken. Today's updates is they want to do a spinal tap, and he's not blinking his eyes. The other day, he understood that Amanda was on the phone. There was some type of recognition, but I don't know if it's because the medicine they have him on, he might not be like with it, but they've already checked his brain once since he's been in there. They did a CAT scan to make sure the seizures didn't do any damage to his brain. Apparently it didn't, but I guess because he's not blinking, he's not showing any like response. They're gonna have to recheck. So it's just so hard. Obviously it's my daughter's father, and me and Al have always been best of friends even when we weren't together anymore. A lot of medical decisions have been made by myself solely, and then it gets put on my daughter, so that's also heartbreaking. And I know it's a hard way to live, but I'm hoping that he's not giving up. I'm hoping that he continues to fight. Yeah, so that's also going on this week on this end with Al. And if Amanda doesn't know something, then she calls me, and then I explain what it means, and then she'll call and give me updates. She was calling at like 10 o'clock at night, I think it was, and then my anxiety was so bad and I couldn't sleep. So I don't know. I don't know what really else to say. I think that's the number one big reason why I didn't post my video the other day, because of the way my daughter was explaining things to me. I was out giving the chickens some ice and fixing up their water, and she pretty much was saying that the nurse was just saying, there's not much else they can do. He's on one of the strongest antibiotics, Cespis? Septic. Okay, well, that's what he has. Obviously, that's quite serious. But, yeah, so I'm just trying to stay strong because I've known Al since I was 17 years old. 17. He was the first guy I ever dated. I lost my virginity to Al. My daughter wasn't an oopsie because I had the mentality of a 30-some-year-old in my 20s, and I wanted to have a child, and that's my daughter. And I don't know, we just always stayed really close. So I can hear a lot of anxiety in my daughter. So as a mom, that's upsetting me as well. So long story short, that's weighing on me big time, this entire week. So Al usually gets through like everything. We're just kind of worried that he might just be giving up. He stopped eating even when he was at his house. So I don't know. Lots of prayers for Al. And I'll keep you posted on how things are going. So that's the one major thing that I completely left out that's been really rocking me this entire week. And then the heat on top of it. I haven't heard anything from my nightly update from Amanda, but I'm pretty sure she remembers I go live, so she might hit me up after live. We'll have to see. So that's a real big one that's just hurting my heart and my soul. It's the Al situation. So thank you, Paul, for posting Fran's video again. Came out somewhere. Oh, God bless. Absolutely. Isn't the card? Oh, geez, Fran. Oh, thank you, LP. CR. LP says, I will pray for you and your daughter and family, Mel. That's very sad. Yeah. It's like, I think his first initial surgery was to go through his throat because he also broke his neck. He would have been a quadriplegic. I had them do the surgery to go through his throat. There was a chance he might not ever speak again, but he spoke. He came through that with flying colors, and that just made him paralyzed from the waist down. So when it came time to put the equipment in, it's like I lost a lot of sleep, and I kept calling and checking, and is he out of the surgery? And you could only just imagine. And I think that surgery was like 38 to 40 hours long because the surgeon that was doing that surgery apparently was extremely meticulous, they said. And he did come through that. And when I did see the way they stitched all the way down, it was immaculate. He's just been through so much. And we've, I mean, me and my daughter have had our differences, of course, but it never has to do with her dad. We're both on the same page. And I just hope that he has like maybe one more last fight in him. Let's just put it that way. Hopefully, he has one more fight left in him. But we'll have to see. But thank you so much, LP, because it is extra hard. I do have a daughter by him. He has his 2 grandchildren, so it's just hard. LP, I had a incident with my AeroGarden. We'll have to talk about that one. Fran says, I'm sorry, Melody. It's so hard. Wish I could hug and cry with you. Yeah, I wish you could too, but your circumstances obviously are different. And me and Al worked together for a really, really long time. Big guy, muscle guy, just good looking, tall, dark, and handsome. Took care of himself, and it's a shame that it even happened, but it's not why I wasn't with him, he was just going a different route, but we always just like got along, and he was very good to my 2 sons too. They always call him Buddy. He would like show up to drop off half the tuition for Catholic school for my daughter, and he'd be like, "Here, get the boys a bike," and I'm like, "No, they already have a bike." Al's funny guy, but he doesn't. As he's gotten older, he's kind of lost what little patience I guess he had left. He's lost them. So they've been keeping him stable because if they don't keep him on something and he does come to, first thing he's trying to do, stubborn now, is to rip all the tubes and the wires out. So yeah, so let's just hope he's got one more fight in him. And Fran, I wish you were here too. This is your situation's not easy. It's your husband. I'm not taking away from that. This is just my daughter Amanda's 36. My grandson is going to be 17 August the 11th, and little Adeline's 3. She will be 4 January. So yeah, just maybe, can have some faith. That's what I was trying to do with my daughter on the phone. Like, I don't know what you believe in anymore. That's up to you. Like, you have to have faith. So it's like, I'm going to have to pick myself up, but I also have to pick her up. She is a spitting image of her dad. She has that stubbornness and everything, and she thinks, well, what can I do? If he wants to give up, then there's nothing I can do for him, she said. And that's her stubbornness, and she's hurt, which is understandable. But, I just said to her, you have to have faith, and I think, and this might not sound right, please don't take my words. Hopefully I can say this right. I said to Amanda it would be different, like, let him come to and because there's no documentation of a DNR. Um, I said, let's just hope he comes to enough where you could speak to him and ask him what he wants. If your dad was to say he's had enough and doesn't want to deal with this anymore, then we would have to respect that. For now, it's just, here we go again. Major medical problems, and I don't know. It's going to be a hard one, that it would be like losing a spouse. But me and Al were always like best friends. He never let anyone mess with me. He was there for his daughter. He wasn't a perfect guy. None of us are perfect, but we just always remained friends over the years. So we'll have to see what happens. Okay. Sorry. So sorry, Paul. Let's see. He's doing good right now, but the what he has surgery and he comes back even if they manage to get it gone. Never know. Like I said to Amanda, there are things called a miracle sometimes. Okay, signing out now with you. All in spirit, and take care, folks. Thank you, CR. Thank you for coming in. And thanks, Paul, for all the prayers. Greatly appreciate it. So sorry about that bummer of news, but it is, like I say, we keep it real over here. I don't front it for nobody. And I almost forgot. I think I had just a little bit to myself today to take my mind off of it. And then as soon as Fran came in, it was like, oh, yeah. So I guess I resignated. But just have to see. Can't play God, and we'll see what God has in store. But thank you, CR. Don't forget, send me an email, and I'll give you all my gardening experience for some editing help. Fran says, oh, no, would never think that. This is your channel, and it's about you and yours. Love you to the moon and back, Mel. Girl, that's like an understatement about how I feel about you. I feel like me, you with the phone thing, like, and I wish we were closer. I wish there was, that's why I said, like, here's my number. I don't want to know that you're going through this by yourself. We all love you. It's a great community here on YouTube. So if you need me, even write me in an email if you don't use your phone like that. But that would break my heart to know that you would need someone to talk to, or shoulder to cry on, something. Just know that I am thinking of you like constantly in your situation, sincerely. So don't hesitate to get a hold of me. I love you to infinity, girl. Paul says, speak for yourself, Mom. Perfect. I'm perfect. Mom said so. Thank you, Paul. Took you long enough. It's getting a little bit, hard on here, but oh, that was funny. Paul says, speak for yourself, Mel. I'm perfect. Mom said so. I felt loud. Robin says, I'm so sorry. I'm praying for all. Hugs to everyone. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Life is hard. Didn't mean to bring you heartache. No, not at all. I just absolutely love you, and you know that. And my heart always feels like I wouldn't want someone to go through something by themselves. I know what that's like, and y'all know I wear my heart on my sleeve. It's a given. You've known me for how long now? I wouldn't hurt a fly unless you hurt my family or my kids. Then it's a whole different story, But no. I'm trying to figure out, because of your phone situation of, let's just use like even like anxiety. When I get bad anxiety, nobody's around, no one's picking up the phone for me to vent to. Usually it's like a vent session. It's like, I don't know how you're doing it, but I do want you to know that my thoughts and prayers are with you every single day, Fran. And if you can figure out a way to call me or get me on email, I will be there for you the best I can. If you need anything else, write me an email and let me know. But yeah, you're not bringing me heartache. It's just, I don't even want to say the word coincidental. It's just, no, I got choked up once yesterday and now randomly on live. Ugh, sorry, everyone. As a reminder. Yep, there's my email. Thank you so much, Paul. I don't know how to edit. I wish I did. I tried. When I followed the directions of videos, it never works. Laugh out loud. Robin, if I knew it wouldn't kill my live right now, it is, you know, the thing that's in the bottom right hand corner of my videos? Like, pick a one that's that you know that I've edited, has the little jingle on the front. I can't think of the name of the editing software. I'll either email it to you or you can find a video that you know that I've edited and it's right on the right hand corner. Download it to your phone. It's completely free. And I don't know everything about the editing software. Shannon's busy. She works all the time. She gets to fast forward her videos. I don't know how she does that with this editing software. So Shannon from Kitchen Shenanigans, if you watch this girl, I need to know where the fast forward button is. Or sometimes I don't even want to hear myself talk. You know what I mean? And I want to hit that fast forward, like makes it go quicker. That I don't know how to do, and I don't know how to cut like a big chunk out. I usually will just leave it. But it's for free, and I think it's a good like editing software for dummies, maybe. Editing software for beginners. Yeah, totally need to learn that editing software a little bit better before I even think to committing financially. Because it's like, what is it? We'll say like a Filmora 10 or 11, 12, whatever they're up to now. That's initially what I was going to go with. And you pay for the editing software. I'm not sure if you have to pay for like a yearly service as well, but you know, that's all money that adds up. So, and I'm out quite a bit of money this week from having to get this cell phone, which is the same phone, but get it solely in my name. And it was like $250 to get my cell phone number, you know, released to me. Ugh, it's a whole thing, but it's done at least, you know, it's over and done with. But I just feel like when it rains, it pours. That's usually how it is, you know, when it comes to money. And, you know, I really do need to get an external hard drive. So to me, I feel like I have these steps and I want to do the external hard drive first. And then, you know, we'll see on what people recommend as far as not a real complicated computer editing software. But for a phone, the one that I'm using is fine. It's not great. My editing skills aren't, you know, I'm not a Jason Crocker. I'm telling you, you ever see that man's editing skills sometimes? It's phenomenal. I don't know if anyone ever watches Clancy Burke she's a vlogger on YouTube. I got into her. I don't know, a little ways back. And she has like a external hard drive. It's like a sleeve that goes on the back of her computer. She must have got that. She has the camera that I want on a little thing where it has the screen and you can just flip it. I feel like I want to write her in one of the comments and be like, what editing software do you use? Because she's constantly saying she loves to edit. She loves it. Loves it. You don't really hear too many people other than, well, that I know of, Jason Crocker and Clancy Burke. That's the name of the channel too, Clancy Burke. She's recently married. She's a vlogger, and she says she loves to edit. And I'm like, wait, what? So maybe on her next video, I think she puts out 2 videos a week. I might say, what editing software do you use? You know, wouldn't that be funny? But yeah, Robin, that's, you know, I just use the basics of it right now. Well, Mel, you found that funnier than when I told you about me flashing at the cops. Yeah, I think I didn't see that. My mind was somewhere else. But you know what it reminded me of? The laughs that we had in my live. I don't know if Fran was in there. Do you remember? I feel like it's getting colder in here. When I got the pickle packer, the jokes that came out on that live was hilarious. We used to have a lot more fun. I feel like maybe I'm a little bit more conservative. I try not to be too loud. I'm in someone else's house and stuff like that. But that was some fun. I mean, the jokes that were coming out of Paul Honeyman was hilarious. This is a funny channel. This isn't a G channel in our lives, you know. We're just out to have fun. And if you know Paul Honeyman, he's got some perverted would probably be wrong, right? Like he has some fresh comments, but they're hilarious. So need to lighten up and learn to have a sense of humor. I was told that before because I took something too serious. Not from Paul, but Paul has a great sense of humor. Do you mean Power Director? Is that what I'm using, Suzanne? Because maybe, yeah, it's a free editing software. I downloaded it right from Google. So that would be it, Robin. What type of phone do you have, Robin? Oh, you have an iPhone. Yeah, I'm a Galaxy. Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Didn't even get offered a new phone, too, by the way, for $250. So ridiculous. So I have the S9 Plus. Their Samsung Galaxy S23. It was like 900 and it would have been like another $250, like insanity. I do notice my phone's acting up a little bit, but the guy that I talked to in a different department said because it could be because it's full, and he may be right. And he's on a recorded line, and my son doesn't 100% like the idea, you know, because we've always bought just brand new phones, but money is it's hard, you know. And I said the gentleman, he was younger, and he literally said like when his sisters want these new phones, he goes under eBay, and they're like immaculate. They're like brand new, but they're not. He said they'll either say like used or refurbished. He said the most important thing is to go down in the description and make sure that it says unlocked. You know, because people have purchased phones and then they're not unlocked to go to whatever carrier you want. So I did tell Jared about that, and he's like, "Nah, I don't know about that, Mom." And I said I did that with one phone, and everything was fine, at least from what I could remember. But it is one way. There is a different series. It's like an A something. I can't remember it right now, but that one's about 3 or 4 hundred, like in the threes. But between the taxes and all that other jazz, it's going to be another like I'm trying to get around of not having to pay another $250 on top of the cost of the phone. I mean, I can't even afford that, so I'm not getting a phone right now. I don't have the money for that. But if I was to end up seeing something under like an eBay or something like that, and it's say it's 300 and it's like a guaranteed that this phone's immaculate and unlocked, I would consider it, but not now at all. Not at all. I'm just trying to make do with the phone that I have, and I do have an extra micro card that's bigger for this one. And that's the other thing. He said that the newer, like the Samsung S23, it doesn't take any card. Like the space that comes with it just comes with it. So that's kind of hard when you're used to sticking some cards in some phones because you're a YouTuber, like you're a creator. It does take up space sometimes, but I did get another card, but I can't put it in my phone yet, and so I clean this out. I know. Oh, yuck. Sorry, laugh out loud. I don't do iPhones. I used to be a huge iPhone user, and I just had it when it came to iPhones. Just so sick of everything you go to do, like cost money on an iPhone. And I don't know. I just got burnt out from the iPhones. And then I went to a Samsung, and I was thinking, oh no, I don't think I could adjust to a Samsung. I've been an iPhone user for way too many years. Once I got on like the Galaxies, I like the Galaxy families, you know, like all the numbers. Um, it's a great phone, and I could never see myself going back to an iPhone. That's just my opinion, though. I know iPhones are still very, very popular. Absolutely. Nope, not for dummies, Mel. I can't use it. Laugh out loud. So it must be for beginners. Well, then that would be me. You would tell me, Mel, you don't know the meaning of that word. Why is that not coming through the right way? Does any moderator see Joe Serrano's comment? It's coming up funny. You don't know the meaning of that word. If you no if anything. You're the total opposite. Well, thank you, Mr. Joe Serrano. For some reason, it's not. I guess I would have to approve your comment or a moderator. What from the word dummy? I don't know. We're not offending anyone over here. But thank you for the compliment. I really do appreciate it, but it is a learning curve when you're learning how to edit. Which one do you use, Fran? She says, I really like the editor I use. Tell me all about it. I used to love the Crockers until they fell out. That was a good night. I've learned more since I started this channel, even learned my phone does things I didn't know it did. I probably, nope, perverted is right, Mel. Laugh out loud. Oh, Paul, I love you. Paul, imagining a tall, skinny, blonde dude flashing the cops. I mean, boobies. Joe Serrano, that's hilarious. I can't even laugh out loud, Joe. Now instead of the tall, blonde dude, try a brunette, short, fat man. Laugh out loud. Oh, I used to. Hubby has a Samsung. I hate it. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. I love the Galaxy family, actually. Never seen it. Joe used to be 5'11", but for my spine operation, I'm now 5'9". VLLO. Huh. I don't have nothing to write that down with right now. And you know how it works. Ooh, maybe I do. Sometimes the live chat is not open for me to relook at it until like sometimes 2 days, sometimes 3 days. So I wanted to write that down. Is it free, Fran? What phone are you using since you're asking the rest of us what we're using? 3 times a week. Excuse me. Fran, how dare you? Samsungs are fantastic mobiles. They really, really are. Like, I'm addicted. You know, people are addicted to iPhone like I used to be. No, I love Galaxies. They're great. Like, it's not like an Android. Remember the Androids back in the day? They stunk. This is the phone I did a video about on Heritage Heart Homestead. I like my phone. I still hate my Chromebook. Wait, this is the phone I did a video about on Heritage. You did a video on Heritage Heart Homestead? I just started getting into them. Mr. H. We seem like really nice people. I like. Okay, I had to refresh. I still hate my Chromebook. I don't like Chromebooks either. Definitely like a Dell like laptop type of person or Sony. I think mine's like maybe Acer now, but it's got all the whistles and bells. But unfortunately, the camera in it was for all the whistles and bells. How do you put a camera that's not even a 1080p? You know. Fran says Samsungs are set up different than this phone and our other phones. Okay. Oh, you do too, Paul? Woo, woo. I mean, I did switch from this, if you remember, at Jimmy's and went to a Samsung Galaxy S22. Immediately started shutting off. And I'm like, something's wrong with this phone. Something's wrong with it. We took it back. I forget my name of my laptop right now. Anyway, took it back, but already turned in my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Took the S22 back and ended up purchasing another S9. I mean, I love it. But the S22, as soon as I got that phone, the videos were really very, very nice, but I didn't have time to really get into the phone because as soon as I got it, it was shutting down. And then, unfortunately, the new software went over to this phone, and which is the same software from the S22, where it acts like an iPhone. If you're out in the heat or whatever, you know, it will shut down. And that's what this does. It's like this heat warning type of thing. But I didn't have it on my previous S9 Plus. But the newer one, when I gave back the S22, which if I would have known, I would have just have kept it. Yeah, so I deal with the phone shutting off constantly. So for me to do YouTube, I don't even think anyone realizes it takes a lot of work for me to do the videos. Whether it's dogs, you know, you have neighbors' dogs, um, the heat, just whatever. Whether it's interruptions, that's just called life, or we are in summer, but the whole country had a major heat wave, so that was difficult to be a creator and trying to do videos, and it's constantly shutting off like, I don't know, two sentences in. So yeah, it's just annoying. Let's see. Acer Chromebook. Okay. Uh-oh. All of a sudden I feel like Hillbilly Samsung is the main phone. Androids are passed on. I'm in the past with my Motorola E5 Android. The E5 is pretty cute though. I used to have a pink Razr Motorola. I love that phone. The flip. And then my son got really big into where you could take things to GameStop or whatever and trade them in for other games, whatever. And I think he traded in that phone or took it to like the place on Street Road. It was like a hawk type of store or whatever. I liked my. It was all pink. My Motorola was amazing. They do have a Samsung phone out that flips and then it'll go long, but that's not getting good reviews. Like in between, so you can have it as like as a half phone, like a Motorola, and then you can flip it up. A lot of people, a lot of the reviews are saying it's shorting out in the middle, so I won't even waste my money on that phone. But I don't know. I like Galaxies; they're really, really good. Samsung just tried getting me to update again, told them no thanks, and hung up. I need a new phone, but I can't afford a new phone. There's the point. No, Joe, you're just old with an old mobile. Yes, I did a video about the phone. He got me the phone and laptop at Black Friday 2020. I just started using the laptop when I started Twisted Tree Arts channel. Now I'm going to have to go on your channel and find that video. The phone is a Moto E. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. My one girlfriend that I used to be friends with, you find out who your real friends are when you're in a situation like I'm in. So, ex friend, I told her not to do the Google phone. She's not bright enough. She is a very good nurse. She just doesn't, she acts like ditzy, like a blonde. Sorry. But she does. And she didn't listen and she got it. And she was like, I hate it. I can't figure it out. That Google phone was not getting good reviews right from the gate. Me and the boys are definite review people. Um, there's a guy who's been on YouTube for like forever. He does unboxing. I can't think of the name of the channel. Something unboxing. You want to know anything about phones and what's good and what's not? That dude will tell you everything. I just can't think of the name of his channel right now, but yeah. So me and the boys will usually like, I forget one day. Oh, that's what it was when I did that S22. I said to Jared, well, I didn't really research it. And he was like, Mom, you know better than that. You should have researched it. And he is right. I didn't read any comments about if it was shutting down or not. So, you live and you learn. You teach your kids to research and then you oopsie it just once. And Jared pointed that right out like, Mom, you didn't even research it. You should have. But I've had some, I didn't actually get my very first cell phone until I was in my 30s. It was a Qualcomm. It was just a flat phone Qualcomm. And I had a cup. It was a plastic cup that was a 24-ounce plastic cup. True story. I will never forget this. And I think my daughter hit the cup accidentally. It spilled all over that phone, and that phone fired right up. That was my very first phone. Who remembers a Qualcomm? It was like that and just flat, no flip up, no nothing. Yeah, I was in my 30s when I got my first cell phone. So these kids today, they want to they're giving their kids cell phones at like 3, 4, and 5. I just disagree with that. That's me. I have a Motorola Pure. Camera isn't good enough for what Mel wants. Otherwise, it's okay. Um, I will say, I'm still a huge fan of Motorola. I loved my Motorola. I've never seen the Pure though, and I think it's a Canon camera, and then it has where you're looking at the screen, but you can open it, and you can like the camera, like the screen will point that way, or you can flip it. That's the camera I really like. If anybody wants to know what camera I'm talking about, go to Clancy Burke. She's a vlogger. I like her channel. It's really not bad at all. I kind of got sucked in, and she's been doing YouTube since she was like, I think middle school. She said so. She used to be a news broadcaster, but she quit her job. She's a full time vlogger now, you know. But that white camera, and she's got a little black handle thing, and she just holds it like this. And oh, I love that camera. Love it. Definitely want one that has the screen that pops out. But anyway, we can wish, right? I know, Paul. It's not available anymore. Provided all but like 3 videos. Oh, okay. You want the Motorola, the Moto G? Moto. I remember those commercials. But anyway, my friends, it's 2 hours already. It's actually like 2 hours and 1 minute. So sorry, Mr. Paul. So this week, of course, will be the chickens tomorrow. I will try to get in closer on my one chicken so you can see the thing that's on her foot. And if anybody else has a little bit more knowledge than I do, please let me know because I want to get it taken care of. So definitely the chickens tomorrow. And then I have the update on the cucumbers that are in the beautiful, from Jay, the beautiful green stalk, the blue, the glacier blue, which is gorgeous. I have the update for that, and then my big garden harvest. So yeah, just follow along. Bear with me. Some of my videos are out of order too, but I will usually let you know if it's out of order. Like I think it's the green stalks may have been July, the beginning of July's update, so that's okay. I'm still going to put it out there because I'm not redoing that video, but I tell you the good, the bad, and it does take a lot of trimming when you have the green stalks, but I still don't have any regrets. I think it's a great way to grow vertically and a great way for people to have some type of space to grow food. So that's my logic on that. And Paul saying, I pray you all have a great week and please stay safe. You as well, my friend. So we greatly appreciate you all being in here. I say we, meaning for even the people that watch you back. I greatly appreciate you being in here. I have wonderful moderators. Thank you, moderators. So appreciate it. Kind of a chill Sunday and a little bit some sad news, but we're all right. And looks like we're coming out of the heat wave. So I hope your weather is improving and absolutely stay hydrated. Stay safe. Thank you for watching this back. Thank you for supporting the channel. I put the last icon up. I'm going to say this very quickly, and it's already now like 2,200 and maybe 20. I don't know. It's I barely look at the numbers anymore. My channel just keeps growing and growing, and I am so grateful for that. This has been a very interesting journey for me, and I'm very thankful for YouTube and the community that I'm in. So I love you all greatly. What do you think about my monster that will have its own video this week? How about that for you? 8 pounds and the harvest. So on that note, yeah, I love you all sincerely from the bottom of my heart and soul. And I'm just going to hold up a couple peppers. Is that okay? And 2 peppers and a tomato, and we will sign off. Stay safe. Stay cool. Talk to you all throughout the week. If you need me, you know how to get me. You have my email address. And yeah, love you all. Have a great week and stay safe and stay blessed. Love yous. I'm actually hungry again. I can't do it. It's a tomato. But I love you all. Bye, everyone.